Boom, boom. This is Kendra, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. We got a little bit of Bleach. We're so up today. All right, so we got some new stuff going on. So we do have another Gacha event up, so you definitely want to take part in this. We'll do that shortly. They've also got the treasure trial back up. This you definitely want to take part. Participate in this. You can only get up to 10 for right now. They haven't opened up 11. 11 won't open up for another 5 days. But you can go ahead and get the first part of it done. You definitely want to participate in this simply because the reward, this mega chest, you get all these choices that you can make as to what you want, as to what you want for your rewards. And what I like about it is the fact that they have shards here for the weapons. It's SS shards, don't get me wrong. So it's not like you can use it for one of your main UR weapons, but it should be enough to actually forcibly get yourself 15, 15, 30. Yeah, you can get yourself a yep, you can definitely get yourself a full weapon in there if you need to. You might just be coming up short with some of the other stuff, but yeah, you can. Yeah, and these are adjustable. You can change these at any time you want, so you don't have to worry about picking at the moment. But you want to try to go ahead and go through and get as far as you can. Okay. And then go back through and get some of the chests is what I like to do that I missed, because each of these have ridiculously, in some cases, ridiculously impossible challenges to get more of the chests. But you can do some of them. I usually do, but I can usually get about half of them done. But there's just some that you can't do, like trying to beat a team with nothing but tortoise characters who don't really do much damage. Tortoises are mainly tanks, so you're trying to beat a team that's much higher in BP than you with a team of tanks, because you can't use any of your dragons or your tigers. So, it's virtually impossible to actually beat those types of challenges. But, you can do it. It's just, so you can do some of them, you can't do, but you just try it. The rewards are very, very generous. You can get like almost 100 pieces for enhancements, so it's really good stuff. So it's definitely something to try, even if you can't do it. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this gacha here. Let me go ahead and clear out these gold summons here. All right, so we hit the gacha. So I should have about 60 some. Yeah, I do have 60. So we can just always make sure you do a 10 pool, as I've said on this numerous times, because that way you're guaranteed to get an Awakening Essence. You are not guaranteed to get Awakening Essence if you pull them one at a time. It is only when you do a 10 pool. I have gotten Awakening Essence on a 1 pool before, but it's very, 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 very rare. It's a lot easier to do it from within the gacha 10 pool, so you're guaranteed to get one. Okay, so got that. So let's go ahead and take that. So remember, this is a 2-day event. So the first part of it, the bonanza clears. As you can see, this will clear this evening, but tomorrow this will still be up, and this will reset, so you'll be able to do it again. So you definitely want to make sure that you do the pools both times, and then both days will accumulate on the limited time rebate, so that you can get that. And you want to make sure that you pull at least 20 a day, so you can get that Omni Shard. But I like to just go ahead and do 30 to max it out on the first day, and then because that way you want to get at least up to 80 pulls is what you're looking for, because that'll get you the last Awakening Essence. If you got more, you can do more, but I usually try to tap it out at 80. So this part right here, this one doesn't reset. This continues on for the next into tomorrow. So it's not important to pull, but you want to pull at least 30 each day. That'll get up to 60, but then tomorrow I'll have to do another 2 to get up to the 80. So I'm going to need to have approximately. So I'm at 32. So yeah, 30. So to get up to 80, I'm going to need about 50. I should have enough. It's going to be close. 43, and hopefully, yeah, I want to do some more of the clear, so it'll be close, but I should be able to get really close to it. If you can't do it, you can't do it. But I just want to make sure I get all the Omni Shards at least, and I will get all the Omni Shards if I just do another 30. So that's the main portrayal to take away from this. All right, you should have Toshiro by now. You should have got him yesterday. I think was the first day. So like I say, uh, situational character. Really, they did actually put some of the SSR season pass character weapons inside of the shard boxes now. Uh, the SSR shard box, so you might see a few of those in there. I'm not sure what the time limit. They only entered like one or two, so there's still a lot of them that aren't in there. But I assume that they will start rolling those into there, just like they're going to do on the event shop. We'll pretty soon we're going to see the other stuff in here. And there it is. As this must have just happened on the last update because I said as soon we're going. I was going to say we'll see new Nemu in here anytime now, and there she is. And it's the same with Christmas now and Christmas. The Grimchild, they will be in here. They should be in here within the next month or two. And as the characters come out, they'll all be in here, so you can purchase them with the time tokens. Okay. I'm actually focusing on Nemu right now. I've got her up to 4-star. Okay, so right now I'm just in the process of bringing her up, and then I'm going to try to get my hands on the broom. I'm probably just going to, because there's really nothing in here that I really want to focus on much, because Nemu's extremely overpowered in 1v1, and I have seen some of that carrying over into her actually into teams that I've taken on. Teams that I would normally beat fairly easy. I'm still beating, but I'm losing like half my team. Normally, I wouldn't lose anybody. So she's definitely a powerful character. So you definitely might want to focus on her if you can. She's one of those characters where on paper the skill set doesn't sound that awesome, but then you get it actually in actual use. It's much more powerful than you would expect. Normally what we comparatively get is something that sounds really good on paper, but in actuality is crap. This is not the case. This is one where on paper it sounds like crap, but in the game it's actually extremely effective. I did the video about her whooping up on my 6-star, 6-star Dengai Ichigo, who had 25,000 more BP, and she took him to town quite easily in just 4 moves in the 1v1. So she's definitely not something that you want to not shake a stick at. So I think I've got her, actually, I think she's at 3. Yeah, but I've got enough Omni Shards. If I wanted to take her to 4, I can. I'm really at a sort of a shot right here, right now, as to what I want to do, because I want to bring her up. But at the same time, I also want to bring 5-star up on him. But since the main reason I was going to bring him to 5-star was simply because of the fact that I was going to be able to get the weapon. I did not quite have enough Soul Jade to actually do it, so I was unable to hit the 5-star unlock for him. So he's pretty good, but I think in the long run, Nemu will probably be a little bit more useful. Getting her to 4-star would be an automatic entrance into the team almost, and I only need 71 shards to do it, and I have like 150 Omni Shards or something like that, 160 Omni Shards, 160 even in terms of Omni Shards. So I could do her, use 70 of that, and then probably in a few weeks I'd be able to take him up to 5-star. But it's one of those things. I haven't really decided yet. It's not important yet because we have not got the next. We're still waiting for the next chapter to come out. We're still waiting for chapter 28 to come out. I'm fully caught up with everything. Everything's been taken care of. So I'm just waiting for them to release the next chapter and see how many stars we need for it and whatnot. So that should be coming pretty soon. They're not. They promise more soul box events and stuff like that, but we're not seeing that. Apparently, I don't know if they don't have enough people working on the game or what, but they're not. They're still entering, events and stuff. But this is just stuff that takes 10 seconds to do. The really good stuff, soul box events and stuff, that takes a little bit of work because you got to grab the characters, set them up and everything, and throw them in. But it's still, even that's not that difficult. They're just not doing it. They also need to rework their a lot of the discussions on the Discord and whatnot have been focused on changing the Soulbox events. What what seems to be the prevalent theory is what they need to do is they need to have the soul box event. And as you know, when you get the shard box, you can choose shards for the two characters in the soul box event. Well, what they need to do is they need to put a third entry into those and make that so it's omni shards. If you want more people to pull and play on those and spend on those soul box events, you need to make it useful. Two characters in a soul box event, you know, if there's neither of those characters are useful to me, I'm not going to pull on the event. Okay, I'm just not, and I'm not going to spend any money to do it, obviously. But there are people out there who will spend money on that event. Um, if they get, if you can pull on it and get omni shards, because those can be used for any character, so it doesn't matter which character. Now I'm not saying that I'm not saying the weapons should stay the same. Of course, to get the weapon, the choice box on the weapon should stay the same. Okay, no changes in that. But they, inside of the actual shard for the character, they should throw an entry for omni shards. So you can, if you got 50, of the chest, you open it up and it says 50 for the one for the soul box, one for the other soul box, one, then a third entry for omni shards. And in that case, you get a lot more people pulling on the events, and in return, get people who are paying would pay for it. Not the case. So I don't understand. The soul box events, I like them because that's a way to get the weapon, but they need to expand on that and make it a little bit more useful, because there's so many characters right now. And the fact of the matter is, the game is stagnating, and it's stagnating because people who have older characters, are needing to get new characters, because there's now two tiers of characters: the version 1 and the version 2 characters, and they're starting to creep in these version 3 characters. Muramas is probably the maximum I would say that you can go without creating another tier of characters. He's a UR buildable backline attacker. Okay, that's the only thing. Anything more than doing something like that could possibly create a whole other tier of characters. And if they create a third tier of characters, I'll probably stop playing the game, simply because of the fact that they don't give you enough mats to build a whole new team. They just don't. This game's not set up like that. It's not like your Azure Lanes, your Destiny Childs, even Mobile Legends Adventures, which indicate you can build characters superbly fast in those games because they give you the mats to do it. That's not happening inside of here. Because Omni Shards aren't. I mean, these 160 Omni Shards that I get, this is months and months and months of building Omni Shards. Okay, because that's the only. They just don't offer them enough. I mean, you get them in some of the Gacha events, but in regular play, the chance of you getting an Omni Shard, you need to get at least be able to get some way to get 5 or 6 of them a day, and you can't do that. The most you can get is a couple. So yeah, it's not set up to be a game. One of the games that broke itself was Danmachi. That was the problem with Danmachi. They've got like 4 tiers of characters in that. It's ridiculous. People with first generation and second generation teams. I mean, these are teams that were maxed out, fully awakened. Their equipment was fully maxed out and fully awakened, and they're getting beaten by teams from the third version of characters that aren't even close to being completed and awakening and whatnot, and they're getting beat. And that's why Danmachi's the game is pretty much failed. There's virtually nobody playing it, and it's from what I hear, it's because of the anime overseas. It's managed to pull in enough to keep it running, but they're not really making a profit off of it. But it's not losing, so as long as it's not losing money, they're probably not going to shut it down. So, but yeah, it's it's just not one of those games to play. I just got tired of having to continually, and when the new characters come out, they don't give you enough to. They give you that you can get the character generally. It's tricky because they give you the chance to get shards for that character. On the ones odd pools, you get 10 pools in odd pools, but there's also other characters inside of that pool. So because it's a gacha game, so you're not guaranteed to get the shards for the one that you want for. So again, it's yeah, you really in general if the way to get guaranteed to get the shards is you have to pay, of course. And they've gotten very, very, very bad reviews because of that, which is why a lot of people stopped playing the game. There's virtually nobody covering it right now. Um, and even the ones who are covering it are like, okay, you need to get they're spending tons of money. They have to they can't cover it otherwise because you just can't get the new characters and talk about them unless you spend money. Uh, of course, the Bleach is not to that point yet. You can still get shards for the characters. Um, you might have to skip an event every now and then if you're a little bit low on Soul Jade, like I completely rubbed down my Soul Jade on Muramasa. But as you can see, I'm already back up. That event was just like what 2 weeks ago. I've already got 8,000 Soul Jade. And you need roughly between 15 to 20,000 Soul Jade on a Soul Box event, and that way you're guaranteed to get the weapon. So, but at the rate they're throwing out Soul Box events, that probably wouldn't be a problem. And even if it is, the chances of it being one of the six characters in my, or the, I would consider six characters plus four characters that I'm working on in the side, the chances of it being one of those four characters, as you can see, percentages are less than 20%. So it's just one of those things. That's why I would say soul, Omni shards inside of those soul box events would be so much more effective in making people, get interested in them. But it is what it is. So we just have to wait. All right. So basically, yeah. So my main team is still the same. I haven't changed anything. I'm probably just going to go ahead and get enough Omni shards to take Sassy up to 6. Okay, so that'll have my entire team at 6. I'm probably not going to bring any to 7. The promotion to 7 for these things is just they just this is 360. It would take me a full year to obtain that just for one character, and that would be solely focusing on that. If they had Omni shards inside the Soulbox event, you could probably be able to, and they had like 4 or 5 of them. That would be well on your way to probably could do one of these in maybe 6 to 7 months, possibly. It would definitely shorten the time tremendously. But yeah, so I'll probably just go ahead and get Sassy up to 6. I've got 160, like I say, 185. So I can do it probably in 3 or 4 months. I should have enough Omni shards, unless they, of course, come out with the Soulbox event for him, which would allow me to get it much quicker, but that's probably not going to happen. And I'll take him up to 6. That'll be the main team, and that's as high as I'm going to go. And then we're going to start, but in the meantime, I'm just focusing on getting Nemu up, as she appears to be something that we can possibly utilize, because all the times I've went up against her and she's beaten me, it's only been a 4-star. It hasn't been a 5 or a 6-star. It's only been a 4-star. The one that beat me in the 1v1 tore up my 6-star Gacha was 4-star. And the teams that I'm noticing that I'm almost losing against that I was beating easily before, I'm still beating them, but it's not nearly as bad as it was before, was a 4-star as well. So there's nothing extremely, buildable about. They're not, it's not like a 5 or 6-star character. It's going to, you can build these up. I mean, you can build these up. It's not a problem. Building up an event character, once you get it, is not really that much of a deal. Getting the awakening weapons to give it that extra power boost is, but in this case, because of how overpowered she is, you don't really need it. So just building her up 5, 6 is something that I'm seriously considering doing. I need to get a little bit more information. One of the things holding me back is to make sure it's not broken, because when she originally came out, her skill set was total joke. It was not working at all. People were saying, don't, broken, not working right. Well, they figured out what the problem was and they fixed it. And now she's OP. I don't know if they overcompensated or something, but if you read what's supposed to be happening on paper, and then it sounds okay. It's not bad, but it just doesn't sound like it'd be that awesome. But then you put her in the game and she's doing all kinds of crap that I don't even see how the skill could commiserate this happening. It doesn't really say that this is going to happen. I mean, she's healing herself from she's literally healing herself. She's almost like a healer. At the same time, she's reflecting all that damage back on the other. That's what happened to Gacha. I hit her, she healed herself, and I lost like 3/4 of my power of my, and just like that in one hit, and it totally changed the face of the game. And that seems to be what's happening when I go up against her. Uh, Whenever I hit her, for some reason, she does damage. But sometimes it's not just one person; sometimes it's two people. So I don't know if it's broken. It's really not. The description is obviously not accurate as to what she's doing. So don't let what you're reading inside of these skills affect what you're choosing for. Just get her up to 4 stars so you can activate the passive. And this is the passive that uh, actually makes for, you always want to wait to get the passive before you're putting them in, because just with these right here, there's the character's nothing. It has to get that passive because the passive is what gives it makes the character a usable character. So once you get her to 4 star, she should be usable. So that's what I'm planning on doing. It doesn't seem like they're going to be changing her skill set. So and they just put her in the event shop. So I'm considering her at this point to be final. This is where her final shot's going to be. So she's definitely a character that you want to think about investing in. Unfortunately, if you didn't get her in the event, it's going to be difficult because, like I said, the only way to get her is through the shop, and you're going to have to use the time tokens, which means you're going to have to get these time tokens and then use these time tokens here to purchase shards for her inside of here. And as you can see, you can get 10 at a time and 8. So it's going to take a little bit of time to build her up. But yeah, and then it's going to take a bunch of time to get the weapon. I've only managed to get one weapon. I got Ichigo's umbrella out of here. I'm using him inside of several of my teams because of his excellent support. I have decided not to go ahead and get the gloves for RMA at this time because Nemu's probably more of a priority at this point. Let me be honest with you guys. Healing's not needed in this game from a character. The only thing you need to get is the War Soul of Healing. Once you get that, your healing should be set. It changes it completely. Changes the game completely once you get the War Soul of Healing. You'll never run out of healing. It's a targeted heal every 4 base attacks on the lowest character. So you'll never have to. I mean, Guild Boss is a joke right now. Inside the Squad Boss, it's a joke. I used to be barely survive. I would survive, but I would always be well below 50%, and in some cases, some would be below 20%. I'm virtually completely full now in Squad Boss. The War Soul of Healing just keeps healing me right back up. It's broken again too, because now I noticed that it's healing twice. It was broke a while ago. They adjusted it and they fixed it, but now it's broken again because I've just noticed that in the last Squad Boss I was completely at 100% when it was done. Everybody was completely full. So I did it. Instead of doing the sweep, I ran it again to see what happened, and I was watching it this time intently, and I noticed that it would heal on the 5th attack, but then it would heal again on the 2nd, not waiting for another 4, because it's supposed to be every 4 attacks it heals. No, it did it on 2 heals, and then on one time it healed 2 people at the same time. So she was just healing, and I was full by the time the match was over. Squad Boss. So you don't need any healing from a character. Only need is that, and you can get it because it uses SR or Heme shards, and you should have absolutely no problem at all getting SR or Heme shards. You can get her in the shop. They actually show her in here in the shop sometimes. Let's see if she's in here. She's in here intermittently, so just keep looking for her. You might find her. Right there she is, right there. These are the shards that you need to create the War Soul of Healing. It's a character-based War Soul, which means you need to use shards from an existing character to do it. Just like the War Soul of Chaos is. It's a shard, but it uses Aizen, the squad Aizen, which is why it's much harder to build, because it's really hard to get Aizen. At least for me it is in the squad, because even when I get Aizen chests, I usually don't get Aizen. I've got it to purple, but I haven't got it to gold yet, and I'll probably end up having to use Omni shards for it. Yeah, so that's all you need. So just get the War Soul of Healing. I've done several videos. Just go back through my playlist and you'll be able to see talk about the War Soul of Healing. and how to get it. It's very easy. And you won't have to worry about any healing from an external character. So at this point, I don't see Christmas Orihime, who is the best healer in the game. I don't see the need to focus on building her up at this point. I mean, as this, we're halfway through the story, guys. I'm serious. We're still down. We're still down. Fighting in Hisuindo. So we're not even out of there yet. So we're like halfway through the story. So we might in the future story modes need more healing. So I've got her if I need her. She's ready to go. I could use her right now if I need to. I have in some cases used her when I need a little bit extra healing. But once I got the War Soul of Healing, it's no longer the case. So just build that up and you should be fine. So yeah, that's where we're at. So yeah, don't remember, use those gotchas, things, get those gotcha events. Make sure you get the Omni Shards and the Awakening Essence. And that's all we got at this point. So we'll have another video whenever they have a Soul Box event. BIS hasn't, the leaks haven't focused. I haven't seen anything for one as of yet, but there'll be one coming up soon. So we'll just have to see who's in it. All right. So thanks a lot for watching. Remember to subscribe. Once you subscribe, you'll see the bell. Click on it, and you'll get notified each time I drop a video. Also, remember to like and share the videos. It helps the channel immensely. This is Ken Rear coming at you from the corner, signing out.